round tie between the biggest names in rugby league. St Helens and Wigan. St Helens in jerseys that might look a little unfamiliar to our viewers. The return to a traditional colour of black, which was on the jerseys around the turn of the century, but still a hint of red and white about there. Wigan in the away strip of blue and white. Tommy Martin to kick off. Steve, dare I put you on the spot?
Well, I think St Helens, with their home advantage, I think they'll win today.
Joe, I'll not ask you.
No, I'm totally unbiased. I actually don't think you can call this game with no previous games under the belt this season. Cup football, everything to play for. It's going to be very, very difficult to determine who's going to win, probably till the last 10 minutes.
And the damage that Wigan can do, well known to St Helens players. 4 men in the tackle there, pushing the big Western Samoan back. Cassidy. Wigan just getting a nice taste of possession here with Andy Farrell. Robinson coming in midfield already. Likes to do this, does Jason Robinson. Edwards. Oh, that's dangerous. Well pitched up, but it's a knock-on surely. Play on. That was a dangerous kick, Steve.
Oh, that was a great kick. It floated in the air, and Prescott, he was in two minds whether to catch it, and then at the last minute put his foot out, and Wigan were unlucky not to come up with possession.
We heard the questions asked before kick-off whether Wigan were really up for this match, having surrendered the title last year. I think, Joe, the tackling there proves it, doesn't it?
That's exactly right. I mean, it's always going to be tough right at the beginning of a cup competition, but there's that extra spice with St Helens Wigan games, and both teams know they have to start well.
Joe, St Helens started off great. Their first defensive set of tackles was tremendous.
Getting McVie, the big Australian, he had to sit out the final last year, and he was cup-tied. Apollo Perolini. Powerful forcing run from the Western Samoan. Just come back from the World Nines tournament in Australia. Martin. St Helens, oh, that will be a penalty. Pulling the player down. Penalty against Terry O'Connor there. Referees have been told, Joe, to be strict at the play of the ball.
Exactly right, and they have to police this area. They have to make sure. Everybody saw last season how good it was, how fast the game was when it was played correctly, and the referees, I'm sure, have been instructed to do exactly the same this season.
So, a chance for Bobby Goulding, prolific point scorer for St Helens. Just look at those goals, 422 goals, tremendous average. A chance for an early start on the scoreboard for the Saints. Hardly any wind, no trouble for Goulding. 2 points. So, delight on the St Helens fans' faces. 2 points to 0 for St Helens. And really, Steve, you know as a coach, you have been told about this play the ball, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a new rule. The play the ball rules now state that you must get away from the player playing the ball. Once he starts regaining his feet, you can't pull him back down. That's what Wigan done then, and it was a good decision by Russell Smith.
Of course, as introduced in Rugby League last season, the side that scores the points kicks off. Farrell, good surging run from Farrell. Looks to have put a bit of weight on since last season, Joe.
He certainly trimmed down towards the end of last season. I think he realises that he does need that extra poundage just to break defences down.
And we have Richard Duck in field, as usual, down there on the bench. What news, Richard?
Yes, Ray, a huge occasion, and the view from pitch side is of the perfect conditions here. There's a slight breeze which is just favouring Wigan in this first half. The pitch too is perfect. It's nice and good and soft and spongy, easy to fall on, and rather more turf than you'd expect to think at this time of the year. Conditions perfect.
Terry O'Connor. Edwards always in control with Farrell there. Good ball, but not taken by Cassidy. Picked up by St Helens. Steve Prescott. Surprisingly, on the transfer list at £200,000. Another one not happy with his contract here at Nosey Road. Derek McVie again. Looks to get a long pass out there to Danny Arnold. Parolini again. The referee, Russell Smith, keeping the players a good 10 metres apart. He wants to make for a good open game. Carl Hammond. St Helens using that short side a lot, Joe.
Yes, it's Kieran Cunningham that's dictating the play. He's bringing the forwards on the short side. They've obviously spotted some kind of weakness in the way Wigan defend on that side.
Not the happiest of passes for Anthony Sullivan to take. Tommy Martin spots the gap down this side. Oh, will it roll? No. That's good play there from the Wigan wing, from the youngster Ellison. Confidence there, Steve.
Yeah, it was a good run there, but it's good to see Tommy Martin back in the St Helens team. He's a good player, Tommy. He's had his problem with the injury. Hope that he's got over that now, because that was a great kick.
Great tradition of derby matches between these two sides. We go back 110 years when the first one was played in rugby union days. Sean Edwards. A tester for Prescott. Pushed right back to his own line, and good chasing there by the Wigan players. Ooh. Did Johnson come in a little bit late there?
We mentioned earlier on about Kieran Cunningham's role in the St Helens team. I think it's very important to point out Martin Hall as well. A big plus for Wigan, retaining his services at the acting half-back position. A recognised hooker.
Yes, many thought that Martin Hall would be going off to Australia to join an Aussie club, but no, he signed a new 2-year contract this season. Getting McVie, one big Aussie. Oh, what a beautiful pass on the outside there. Carl Hammond's putting the kick in. Danny Arnold and Edwards are chasing for it. Arnold's got the pace. Oh, and he gets to the ball, but Edwards is in there. Well, how did Edwards snatch that ball from Danny Arnold's grasp? That's experience. That was wonderful play there from Sean Edwards. He covered the ground tremendously.
Yeah, the referee there is given a penalty because he's saying that the St Helens markers weren't square. Now you see here, Danny Arnold actually gets the ball, loses it, Sean Edwards comes up with it. Then the penalty was the markers must stand immediately directly behind each other. They never, so Wigan got the penalty.
And of course that is another new directive this season, that the markers must be onside. Farrell charging in from depth. That's how a forward should come onto the ball. Not from flat, from the depth. Edwards to Henry Paul. Good long ball there out to Twigamala. Saints keeping a very, very close eye on Twigamala there. And interesting to see number 6 there, loose forward. Carl Hammond moving across behind. Little friendly rivalry. Well, it was Inger's foot that got in the way, Joe.
Two players that have been to rugby union in the off-season, making a bit of a mess of the play of the ball.
And just look at those weights. St Helens, big pack, 16 stone 4. Reminds me of the first St Helens pack 100 years ago. Would you believe it? It was 12 stone 6 on average.
A remarkable pace in this game so far, and incidentally Sean Edwards, just before that scrum down there, Sean Edwards was berating his fellow backs in that game, obviously satisfied with the pace of the game but concerned they weren't getting in quickly enough. Sean Edwards really having a tough word with his fellow backs, the Wigan.
A hard taskmaster is Edwards. St Helens holding possession well here around the rucks. Sage using the big men, McVie and Perolini, Steve, in these early stages.
Yeah, St Helens are, and they should do, because they've got even bigger men on the bench.
Play on, says the referee. St Helens do just that. Chris Joynt. Tommy Martin couldn't quite take it, but good advantage there allowed by the referee, Russell Smith.
Yeah, they tried to get a little bit fancy there, St Helens, with the flick pass inside. Tommy Martin wasn't ready for it, and they've turned over possession.
And of course that is a zero tackle under the new ruling, Joe.
Yes, and just what Wigan would have needed. They've been under quite a bit of pressure. It seems to me this ferocious style that St Helens actually have controlled the football a little bit better, and that's possibly one of the first mistakes they've made.
Yes, a side having 7 tackles when the opposition makes an infringement on their own 6th. 70% territorial advantage there for St Helens, and yet just 2 points on the board, Steve.
Yeah, but they have been unlucky on 1 or 2 occasions, especially on their right-hand side, where McVeigh popped up a great pass for Hammond to make a break before, and they never capitalised on that.
Henry Paul trying to break up that St Helens defence, but that's a high tackle against Chris Radlinski. And silly backshot, allowing St Helens to gain even more metres. Quickly taken. Bobby Goulding. The pace of this game is tremendous. There we see any tackle above the shoulders, whether intentional or not, is adjudged a high tackle. Hammond. Good pass to Derry McVie, can't get the ball away. Notice how McVie, the big forward, hanging down that right-hand side there. He likes to come from deep there, he likes to run from there. Martin to Paul Newlock. First touch of the ball from this big Great Britain centre. £500,000 he cost. Cunningham, quickly, inside to Chris Joynt. Oh, he's got no support, yes he has. Goulding, out to Hammond. Perolini, oh, a superb try from the big Samoan. Apollo Perolini. I thought for a moment he'd taken the wrong option, but no, he shot in at the angle. Obviously, the Saints coach Sean McRae had him out there wide, just for that eventuality, and the big man obliged.
Wigan had to resort to scrambling defence here, the slip pass by Cunningham, and then the ball away by Chris Joynt. And once the ball was passed wide by Goulding, Perolini was able to step back at an angle and slice through the desperate Wigan defence.
Yeah, you'll have a look here. Great try from Perolini. Wigan were 1 man down in defence here. Terry O'Connor was down on the ground in back play, injured. But St Helens, they kept the ball alive. They deserved that try.
And what should be a comfortable shot for Bobby Goulding, while both he and Apollo Perolini are refreshed with a drink, just on the 10-metre line.
It's certainly a case for St Helens of the all-important good start, and that's exactly what they've done. They've managed to get a lot of possession and a lot of territorial possession too in the St Helens half, and now, along with the penalty, a try and hopefully a conversion for St Helens.
Yes, they've done exactly what a good cup side must do, and that is dominate the territory. Goulding then looking to add another 2 points. And he does. The Roars greet the raising of the flags. Goulding seems nonplussed, those spectators certainly are not.
You'll have a look here. There's some good play for St Helens. Keep the ball moving. Quick ball to Perolini. He's seen that the defence was coming across too quick. A right foot step. He's straight over near the post. Just the start St Helens wanted.
And I think one of the problems, Joe, about the change in the kick-off, a side that has been scored against, it does keep them on defence, really, doesn't it?
It puts the pressure straight back on the team. But here's Henry Paul with a remarkable break from that kick-off.
Well, you're not on defending so long when you've got players like Paul and Twigamala in your ranks. Offside.
Bench are keeping a very close eye on Terry O'Connor, the number 10 prop forward. He's injured his right knee in the run-up to that try. They're giving him about 10 minutes to see if the knee frees itself and he can run freely. But if not, he'll have to come off. Expect something like Sherritt to come on as substitute.
Well, there he is, number 10, running freely, or it seems to me. Not going so freely there is Neil Cowie. St Helens' first real test at defence here now. Hall to Cassidy. Cassidy trying to work his way around this sliding defence. Tregemala, he's not bothered whether he goes round, or he goes through it, or he goes over it. Takes Paul Newlove and Tommy Martin to haul him down. Farrell, he'll turn, he'll look for support. Wasn't quite there. But let's compliment Chris Joynt there for clamping that ball. Wigan still on the attack. Sean Edwards, he's got an overlap here. Good tackle. Very, very good tackle there from Alan Hunt. Edwards again, probing in midfield. This is a good chance here for Wigan. A race there for the line. There's two of them for it, but it's a try. The youngster, Andy Johnson, he's in there for a try. No hesitation from referee Russell Smith in awarding that. Stunned St Helens supporters. It came out of the blue, but the overlap was on the outside there, and the young lad brought in this morning in the absence of Gary Connolly becomes the hero.
On two occasions, St Helens have come up trumps with the sliding defence. One way to beat that sliding defence is the little kick, and Andy Johnson, in at centre for Gary Connolly, scores a try.
You'll see here, Paul Newlove, he overcommits himself. In there to Andy Farrell, it wasn't his tackle, he should have stayed out. The ball's got behind Newlove, and Ellison's come through, followed the ball through, terrific, and scored a good try.
That's the kick there from Farrell. The tackle was committed, but he managed to just get the little kick in, perfectly weighted behind the try line.
Well, the referee has disallowed the try on the intervention of the touch judge. He adjudges that Andy Farrell had thrown a punch there.
What happened, you'll find if you can get the replay again, as the tackle was made by Newlove, Andy Farrell was aggrieved at the tackle. He thought it was a little bit high and did throw a punch after he'd let the kick go through for the try. The referee ruled it was a penalty and disallowed the try.
That's a very harsh decision, very harsh decision.
Well, harsh or not, it's reality. Here we see it, Steve.
Now, all the time that try's going on, Newlove had hold of Andy Farrell, and Andy Farrell never done a thing till after the try. Newlove wouldn't let him go, and then he did throw a punch.
No hesitation from Russell Smith. St Helens then fighting back. Wigan denied the try. Chris Stradlinski there, an excellent jump in the air. Superbly taken by the younger Wigan fullback. So, an incident there, off the ball from Andy Farrell. The skipper has cost Wigan dearly. And who knows, could it cost them this Challenge Cup round? Terry O'Connor, he looks to be running well now. It certainly put a spark into this Wigan pack. Edwards in control to Farrell. Well, perhaps the short ball was needed there from Andy Farrell. Johnson.
Saints' defence seems to have improved an awful lot on that wide. On the flanks, they're sliding very, very well and cutting Wigan's options down. That's something they must have worked with in the close season.
And yet, Steve, one had to compliment Wigan. The defence was up so flat that little chip kick for the disallowed try was superbly done, wasn't it?
Well, that's a good way of breaking up the defence. It keeps moving up when you're very quick. It's put a little kick behind the line. It puts a doubt in the defence's mind then.
The other way to beat the defensive that slides it is to attack on the angle, which is what Perlin did for his try.
Good pass from Derry McVie to Tommy Martin, to Chris Joynt. Oh, that's a knock-on. Well, that's good harassing there by Simon Horton. He went into the tackle, he carried on, and he comes up trumps with the ball. Sean Edwards trying to weave his way down that left-hand side. I must say, Henry Paul at 6, he looks dangerous. To Hall. Johnson. Oh, good break by Johnson. He's got inside to Chris Radlinski. Strong tackle by Derek Murphy. Wigan wanting a quick play the ball. Robinson, Edwards. It's all action here at Knowsley Road. Paul again, back to Robinson. To Cowie. Cassidy. And offside. The referee very sensibly playing advantage there. Seeing that Wigan had to take the tackle, now giving the offside. Andy Farrell, he's going to accept the 2 points. Oh, and he's still arguing with referee Russell Smith over that try.
There's not much point arguing now, the decision's been made, and also it was the touch judge, I think, that intervened and convinced the referee that the try shouldn't stand because of the infringement in the tackle.
Well, it was a touch judge because Russell Smith was unsighted. He didn't see it. He was watching the ball go, watch him score the try. When he's asked his touch judge, he's given his what he's seen of the incident, and he ruled on that.
Well, under the rules of rugby league, only the referee can give or not give a try. He can accept or not accept the referee's advice, and he accepted it. As Andy Farrell accepts the opportunity there for 2 points. So, at last, Wigan on the scoreboard. 8 points to 2 for the Homesteads. St Helens not beaten Wigan in the Challenge Cup since 1977. 20 years. And there is the gentleman who said no to the try. Well, 2 touch judges and the referee, they work as a team. There'll be some argument in the pubs and clubs in Wigan and St Helens tonight over that one.
There was no love lost then between Andy Farrell and New Love. The possession there, St Helens 58%, and that tells the story because they are on top at this stage. Perolini.
And they are making good use of the possession with these big forwards. As we saw earlier on, it's a very big pack. They have a weight advantage over Wigan. Danny Arnold forced to cut inside. Henry Paul and Sean Edwards moving across well there in a sliding defence. That's a good kick by Carl Hammond.
It's a punishing kick up the sideline, gathers momentum end over end as he kicks it, and just goes over the sideline before Chris Radlinski can stop it for Wigan.
At this stage of the game, Wigan, when they get possession, they seem to be running more across field. They haven't got any angle runners. They need to run more direct, and when they do come across, they need some runners coming on the inside just to break up that defensive pattern of the St Helens team.
But they haven't had many pre-season or pre-cup games really to get the pattern of play together. They've played a few friendlies, but not had the strongest team out, and also with players being playing for rugby union clubs, they haven't had a settled time to really get tactics ready.
I must say though, Steve, I'm very impressed with this St Helens defence.
The defence has been superb. That's what's got them. That's what's got them on top in this game. The defence and this crowd behind them. The crowd here is enormous.
A long way to go yet though. Still only 8 points to 2. That scoreline is nothing by St Helens Wigan standards. Usually high-scoring games. Andy Farrell. An ambitious pass from Henry Paul, but it's away to Twigamala. Chris Radlinski, well, coming in for that fifth tackle, having to take the ball himself. Referee Russell Smith will surely play on. And that again will be a 0 tackle. That tackle, under the ruling now, does not count. We now move into a 6 tackle sequence. It doesn't count after an infringement or after a kick on the 6th tackle. Perolini. St Helens again using that right-hand side. Do they spot a weakness down there, Steve?
Well, I'm not sure. I think that the idea is if they keep running at Twigger Marley, you see he's slow getting off the ground there. The more you run at him, the more tackling he has to do, the less effective he is with the football in his hand.
Another plus for using the short side on the right is that they have then a full back line and they're able to pass the ball to Paul Newlove, who is one of the strongest attackers on this left-hand flank.
Chris Joints, another Great Britain too, and there is Twingamar. Looks as though he's having a minute, the big lad. He says, why me all the time? Paul Newlove racing for the ball, but claiming that he was obstructed, but I must say I don't think so. I think the kick was an ambitious one. It was a little too far.
It wasn't the greatest kick by Paul. He's better with the ball in his hands, running the defenders. There wasn't many options open for him, but I don't think that was the best one to choose.
Well, the kick was a little far, but it was definitely shouldered off.
Now, St Helens have got a penalty again from the touch judge report to Russell Smith for that incident on Paul Newlove after the kick. There was nothing at all in it, and the touch judge, once again, he's come in and ruled in St Helens' favour.
Well, here we see it, Newlove with the kick. Well, certainly Hall does obstruct, there's no doubt about it. Under the ruling, Steve, you do not have to move out of the way, but you cannot move like that.
Well, he did move to him, but he turned his back on, then moved the other way. I'm sure that Paul Newlove is a big lad. If he really was going for the football, he knew the kick was too long, and he sort of just run into him. He could have certainly pushed him out of the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, whatever, certainly these three officials here at Knowsley Road, such judges Messrs Hewitt and Hawley and Mr Russell Smith, certainly making their presence count, as is Bobby Goulding with another 2 points. The decisions will not bother the St Helens supporters or Bobby Goulding. They'll accept the points.
So what you've got to realise is that Russell Smith was on the spot. He's seen the incident. He was willing to let it go. He thought there was nothing in it, and as a result of the touch judge coming in and Russell Smith then has to adjudicate on it, St Helens have got another 2 points.
Wigan then with plenty to do, and Martin Hall already brought off the field, substituted.
And Stephen Holgate on the pitch now for Wigan in place of Martin Hall. Rather late for a planned spelling of players, really, but perhaps Wigan acknowledging, first of all, the tremendous pace of this game. So Stephen Holgate on the field for Martin Hall.
Stephen Holgate, one of the new signings for Wigan this season from Workington Town. Again, another one who represented Great Britain in the Nines tournament last weekend in Australia.
Immediately with that substitution as well, we'll see Mick Cassidy, who was playing the second row, switch to the hooker position. He's already wearing the number 9, which used to be the position, the number given to that position. He'll go to the half-back, and Holgate will slip into the second row.
There he is, Stephen Holgate, making his first-class debut for Wigan. The kick there, well taken by Prescott. And well tackled by Paul and Cassidy. Anthony Sullivan doing well to come in there. He could see that there were not many people about on the St Helens ranks. Good work by both wings there, Arnold and Sullivan, relieving the pressure, letting the pack have a breather. Now they'll use a forward. It's Derek McVie. Well, a bad pass, passes it there to Cassidy. Wigan gratefully accept, puts them in the driving seat. Jason Robinson, St Helens can't let this man get away. Well held by Arnold. Wigan desperate for some points here now. Sean Edwards. The run around. Well read by Tommy Martin. He waited for Edwards to come around. Good pass inside to Paul. Paul to Holgate. Holgate's got some space. Edwards back to O'Connor. The pressure on St Helens, backpedaling to the line as Edwards attacks here. Looks for the short pass. St Helens pick it up. Bobby Goulding. He'll just hold this ball. I think at one stage he was tempted to pass, Steve.
He was, but then he seen that it was 2-on-2 there. He thought the safest play was to go to ground and a quick play the ball.
There we see the ball goes loose to Simon Horton. Some ferocious running and tackling here. No quarter asked or given. Julian O'Neill, the big Kiwi from Auckland Warriors, again another debut boy. He must wonder what he's come into. And a penalty against Neil Cowie, raking the ball out at the play of the ball. Let's have a look.
Hard really to tell from that angle, but the ball was dropped and the referee...
Looked very harsh to me, Joe, that decision.
Possibly.
O'Neill. Carl Hammond to Alan Hunt. Hunt blessed with real pace there in the centre. Bobby Goulding. Nice inside pass to Newlove, but well read by the two Wigan defenders, Holgate and Cassidy there. Cunningham, Carl Hammond. Oh, that's a good pass, McVie, that's a beautiful pass to Arnold. Can't get away. Good cover there on the inside. Henry, Paul and Robinson putting the tackles in. And a penalty to St Helens again. Wigan adjudged to beat ball stealing. Martin to Joint. Desperate times here, just half an hour gone for Wigan. Perolini edging nearer to that Wigan line, 5 metres from it. Wigan with a packed defence there in midfield. Alan Hunt. Oh, there's some width on the... Ooh, that was a high tackle, or was it not? No, says the referee. Newlove, Goulding. Good ball inside. Hammond to Prescott. Oh, he's held up there. Wonderful defence there by Wigan. A sliding defence, moving rapidly across the field. Hammond again. What a good game he's having. A commentator's nightmare. As soon as you praise a lad, he knocks on, Joe.
That was excellent defence from Wigan. They really had the backs to the wall, the backs to the try line. The pressure was on from St Helens, and they managed somehow, with scrambling defence and determination, to keep them out. That
was superb. That was the third set of 6 in a row they had to defend against after St Helens getting 2 penalties in a row. And that was just, that's the sign of a great team, when you can defend like that in your own 22 under pressure and get away with it. Good work.
That's adventurous play there from Wigan. Henry Paul switching the ball on his own line to Twingamala. Cassidy. As we said, now moved into the hooking role in the absence of Hall.
I don't know how much work or training Twingamala done playing rugby union, but he looks awful tight out there. He keeps going down with his hands on his knees and he looks like a tired lad.
Danny Allison. Here is one fit, quick lad, but not quick enough to go round Sullivan.
Danny Allison thought about it. It was given the outside by Sullivan, but Anthony Sullivan knew exactly what he was doing. He gave him enough room to think about it, let him go around him, and then a beautiful tackle to take him into touch. Great wing play, great defensive wing play.
Yes, Twingamala breathing deeply, hands on his knees, certainly looks to be out of condition by rugby league standards.
And we've mentioned a lot the pace of this game, but St Helens don't seem too affected by it. So the assistant coach Mike Gregory says they're planning no changes before half-time. They're quite happy with the way things are.
St Helens again making good use of this pack. Julian O'Neill now coming into the game. A difficult game for this young prop to come into. Only had a couple of friendlies. Perolini pounding in. Surely one of the best props in the world now, Steve, this man.
Oh, he's a powerhouse. He's very quick, the size of his legs, the size of his chest, all over. He's a big man with a lot of pace.
On that fifth tackle, McVie. Oh, well picked up there by Twingamala. No denying this man's skills. Neil Cowie. Good burst by Neil Cowie. Good, strong, relieving run there. O'Connor. Edwards. Farrell. Nice movement of that ball in midfield there. Horton. That's good play there from the Wigan forwards. Cowie. Then O'Connor. Then Horton. Edwards again. Wigan need a vital break here from Paul. And they get one. Paul, he's got Robinson on his outside. Oh, that's a superb effort from Redlinski. Just at the right moment. Henry Paul produced the break we said Wigan required. Robinson was on hand from the wing like a flash of lightning there. And suddenly, Chris Redlinski, he picked up a hat-trick of tries on Boxing Day in the Norweb Challenge. And here is the youngster again doing the damage. Chris Redlinski.
The type of skill that the Wigan backs possess. Henry Paul, beautiful step, slashes through. Jason Robinson possibly had the pace to go outside. Prescott gives it to Redlinski in support. Great try. Great backs try. Great individual skill.
Yeah, this is a period that's always dangerous. The last 5 minutes of a half, the big men are getting tired. St Helens said they were making no changes. They were fit. I think they wish they had made some changes now because they are getting tired.
Yeah, tremendous work here from Henry Paul. A lot of doubt over this lad this morning. His first match since November the 16th when he played Union. Robinson there alongside. And there's no substitute for pace. Chris Redlinski in for Wigan's first.
You notice it was the small men running against the big men. And this stage of the game, the big men are getting tired. The small men will always come out on top.
Just before that try, you would think that it was Wigan who were looking to the half-time break to regroup, rethink the strategies. They must be really relieved now to see those points won the board with a try and the conversion.
And suddenly the conversion from Andy Farrell at last brings a smile to the Wigan faces. 10 points to 8. A typical derby.
You'll have a look here. Henry Paul, see Julian O'Neill just can't get across to him. He's just too slow there. And Jason Robinson, quick. Redlinski outside, all power and strength.
St Helens they're needing to reassert themselves. Sean McRae, the St Helens coach, I don't think very happy with that lapse in midfield. Just coming up to 3 minutes remaining in this all-action first half. Tommy Martin.
One thing I think we can establish from this half, Ray, is that with or without controversy, this game is going to be very close.
Goulding. A good kick. Despite the pressure from Edwards there, great rivalry between these two halfbacks. Sean Edwards hurried in quickly. He wanted to restrict Goulding's options. He did. All Goulding could do was put the long, low grubber kick in. Edwards will be happy with that. Wigan's head and ball. To Henry Paul. To Twigamala. Rarely does the first would-be tackler put this big Samoan down, and that's a penalty. A penalty against St Helens for forcing Twigamala down. Subtle tactics on St Helens' part there, trying to slow the ball down while they get back in defence.
Now you see there, it could have went the other way because Twigamala put the ball on the ground before he regained his feet or took his arm off the ground. Now, that is a penalty in rugby league. You must regain your feet and retain possession before you play the football.
But I think the whistle had gone, Steve.
Well, they pushed down after, but as I'm saying, that is a new rule now.
Yep.
The players must regain their feet before they play the football.
Yes, we've had a lot of tidying up around this play the ball. Robinson beats one man. Doesn't get past Cunningham. But suddenly the pendulum swinging now in this first half. Wigan more and more prominent, driving in at the heart of the St Helens defence. Henry Paul. Farrell. Good tackle there by Paul Newland, but Well, Farrell gets the ball away. Play on, says referee Russell Smith. Oh, that's a high tackle. Oh, there's mayhem there in the centre of the pitch. The Wigan players reacted violently against that. No need for this sort of behaviour. Why so many players should dash in for one tackle, but they were so incensed over that. The referee, Russell Smith, trying to bring some semblance of control there. The two touch judges on the field. Flashpoint.
This is certainly a high tackle there from Bobby Goulding. Right on the button there. There's players got to go in this, even after coming in after this incident. You'll have a look here. Up, straight around the chin, nose area there with a hard tackle.
It was a very bad tackle, but you commented then about the players running in. I think a lot of it's to do with the tension in the game. You know, players are looking to have one of the best games of their lives. It's a very big competition. And it's like that happens, and all of a sudden all the temper just flows to the surface.
I think Graham Wester, the Wigan coach, will be watching this situation with keen interest. A lot of tension whether Goulding is to be sent off. I think Sean McRae knows that it was a foul, a bad one. Russell Smith just checking the situation with his two such judges. Here we see again the tension in the game. Big decision here for Mr. Smith.
One thing we know, if anybody gets sent off, it's not a sin binning. This is foul play. It'll be a sending off for the game.
Certainly was a high tackle. Goulding came in there with intent. Cowie went down. He was aggrieved.
The game shouldn't have got that far. The Twiggamala played the ball. He lost the ball in the tackle. Russell Smith missed it, but the touch judge on the far side was trying to get his attention to say that it was a knock-on.
Well, and there it is. Sensational happenings here at Knowsley Road. Bobby Goulding dismissed from the field with the red card, the captain of St Helens, and I think he knows himself. Tears welling up in his eyes, the seriousness of that incident. The high tackle there on Neil Cowie, and referee Russell Smith having a word with the two captains, everyone else on report. There we see the incident.
And the ultimate price played. Controversy off the field the last couple of weeks, and now controversy on it for Bobby. An incident that'll really cause his side to suffer, not so much in this half, but for the next 40 minutes.
He's also indicated the referee the players are on report. He's put his arms up, crossed his arms. Now Greg McCullum and his men at Rugby League headquarters will study the video and see if there's any more players that will be cited and punish handed out to them.
And I must say, Steve, I think that is a very good decision, because I think whatever the passions, whatever the tensions, there is no call for players rushing in to a brawl.
There's not called for. We don't need it in our game. And Russell Smith had nothing else to do but to show the red card.
So, Andy Farrell then with the attempt to draw level, and Chris Joynt, the vice-captain, now in charge of St Helens. And St Helens, of course, down to 12 men for the rest of this match. Andy Farrell accepts the 2 points. It's all square, and there is the half-time hooter. And Bobby Goulding to the sidelines. So, certainly, this lad from Castleford had plenty to do. We said he had a lot of experience, 2 Challenge Cup finals, but none of them really with the intensity of this opening 40 minutes. Parolini letting that ball roll into touch. He's quite willing to take the scrum and the head advantage.
I think you'll find Tommy Martin will go to half-back and Carl Hammond will go to stand-off. They'll play without a loose forward.
All the scrums against the head. Martin has some experience at scrum half. Carl Hammond, of course, plenty of experience in the stand-off role. Hammond looking to direct operations, and Chris Joint there, number 11, the St Helens skipper. McVie trying to get that overhead pass out to Cunningham. Cunningham looking for the dummy, well held. Oh, he gets the pass back. A bad one, picked up by Wigan. Neil Cowie did very well there. St Helens then surrendering possession. Wigan looking dangerous. Newlock moving in very quickly. Spots Farrell again. Well, that was a similar tackle to the one that we had with the disallowed try.
Another nagging problem that St Helens face is that Julian O'Neill is playing with a broken nose. O'Neill actually broke his nose last week, but he's had to have it unplugged at half-time to get some air down the airwaves there. But he's playing with a broken nose. News of the Goulding incident. The referee is taking a phlegmatic view of that. He's not reporting Saints assistant coach Mike Gregory for talking to him, nor is he reporting Newlove for speaking to a touch judge.
Well, plenty of action on and off this field. Henry Paul again. Oh, with a good kick. Out wide there. Just the bounce of the ball there, beating Danny Allison. But that was well judged. Obviously, I think, a planned move there, and certainly Paul celebrating in his return to rugby league.
Would have been ironic, that kick, if Danny Ellison had caught that and scored, because that's a Bobby Goulding special, that.
Well, no Bobby Goulding on the field to provide those specials. Something special needed from the Challenge Cup holders. St Helens, one of the big names in rugby league, definitely to go out at this fourth round. Alan Hunt to Cunningham, to McVie, having a good game, this Derry McVie to Bigozzi. Pedalini, well picked up there by Arnold. Cunningham again. Suddenly, St Helens 12 men coming to life. This huge crowd roaring the Saints on. Chris Joint. McVie on the attack. Good burst by McVie, a beautiful pass inside to Allen. He's got support. He's got Alan Hunt. Hunt looking for more support, can't find it. But that superb Wigan defence again. Hammond trying to crash over himself. Is Hammond down there? It looks to me like a try. Carl Hammond spotted the gap on the short side. Wigan had not packed in that wedge around the play the ball, and Carl Hammond saw the gap. In he went, and St Helens are in the lead, 14 points to 10.
Hammond decided to take the ball and go on his own. He used his power and his strength. Just got over the line. There was many tacklers there, but they couldn't prevent Hammond from placing the ball down.
You see how many goes now. You just seen Twiggamala on your picture there. He still was coming back on side, Twiggamala. I don't think he's 100% fit, and maybe they should replace him.
I think Carl Hammond's body angle is good here, though, Joe. He, head up, sees the gap, and then he starts ducking down, doesn't he? Down he goes.
He's definitely determined. He knows that his side might be down to 12 men, but he knows if he can continue to put effort in like that, then they're going to come up winners.
And Tommy Martin, just pushes the ball astray, just to the right of that near side post. So, the doubts that St Helens supporters had at half-time possibly removed a little by that man, Carl Hammond. Had a good tour with Great Britain down under. Very valuable 4 points lead there for St Helens. To Wigamala. Another surging run by the Western Samoa. Robinson. Joe, as an ex-player, how do you think Bobby Goulding will be feeling now, sitting there on that bench, not part of the action?
Actually, been in the changing rooms, and I don't think I like the suggestion that I've been sent off a few times, but I'm sure he'll be very upset with himself, Ray. He'll be sitting there thinking he's let the team down. I presume that he'll be hoping that there are players that are out there can do the job that he intended to do himself.
Saints assistant coach Mike Gregory. Mike, you're going to be looking for some really big performances from players now, aren't you?
Well, it's the old adage, our backs are against the wall. Poor Bobby, he's heartbroken inside the changing rooms. But the 12 men who've gone on the field, they've got to pack together. He said, yeah, we're going to do it for ourselves. after it for Bobby. I mean, it's a good start, but obviously Wigan, you know, they are the world's best. We've just got to keep going now for the next 35 minutes.
Thanks, Mike.
Julian O'Neill there playing with that broken nose. I must say I have sympathy with him from the state of my nose. I had mine smashed a few times. It's all in the game. McVie always looking to get that ball away to Perellini. These two forwards in particular, McVie and Perellini, really commanding this pack for St Helens. Tommy Martin. It's a high one, well taken. A lot of pressure on Chris Radlinski there, but the youngster quite up to it. Picked up a lot of experience in New Zealand on that tour with Great Britain. One of the emerging stars of the game, former Wigan St Pat's amateur player. Oh, good run again there by the Wigan skipper. Farrell. Cowie. A lot of responsibility on Cowie, that prop. This is a new-fashioned Wigan pack. Oh, McVie almost intercepted. But a knock-on.
Talk about Derek McVeigh there on the right-hand side here. He's had a great day. He's hit the ball up hard. He's had some good controlled offloads and caused Wigan a lot of problems on this right-hand side.
And there we see McVeigh just gets a hand to the ball, but stopped a dangerous situation. Farrell working well there with Sean Edwards and Henry Paul. Probably few finer trios in midfield than those three. O'Connor shifting the opposition by the simple method of crashing into them. Cassidy to Hallgate, got plenty of speed, this former Workington Town second row. Yes, and a penalty. Again, interference at the play the ball. Mr. Smith quite strict with that.
He judged there that Tommy Martin didn't retire to take his place at marker, but there are so many variables that the referee has to watch for at the play of the ball. It's a very, very complicated situation, and basically I'm sure that the referee, if he really wanted to, could award penalties an awful lot more.
Well, he could do. He couldn't do much about that because Tommy Martin, even though he never actually played the ball or he wasn't watching the ball and didn't want to interfere with the game, he did interfere with the football, and that's an automatic penalty.
And yet really, Steve, Joe, it's a simple process. One man gets up to play the ball, the other should step back to allow him to play. But how many times do we see that?
It's called pressure. It's called pressure, and when you get tired, mentally, you can't do things as quick as you'd like to do, and you do make mistakes.
That's true, Steve, that's true. Farrell then with a chance to cut the lead. Not the easiest of kicks, just to the side of the posts, but no trouble to the big Wigan skipper.
You notice before they kicked them, Wigan were complaining. Jeanette Smith was standing in the defensive line there, the St Helens physio, while he was taking the kick for goal.
Well, they're a man short, now they've got a physio playing in the position.
And there it is, between the uprights. Graham West just looking at the statistics. It certainly is a testing 80 minutes for a coach like West, and of course, you know, he must always remember his substitute policy. And here is Alan Hunt. Tremendous progress there by Hunt. Hammond to Cunningham. McVie again down this side, gets the ball away to Cunningham. One of the quickest hookers in the game, this lad. Runs like a half-back. Half an hour remaining. St Helens 2 points in the lead. Perellini charging, blasting down the side there. 10 metres from the Wigan line. 12-man St Helens spreading it wide. Not with the best of passes though. That was a chance begging, Steve.
It was a chance there, but it's not what St Helens want to do. They've got 12 men. The idea is to keep the ball away from Wigan. They need to complete their sets of tackles when they've got the football and don't turn over easy possession for them.
Joe, it might be a little bit one-man rugby, But Saint's best attack to me looks through Perolini and McVeigh.
Yeah, they're the forwards that have caused Wigan problems, not only with their direct running and their power, but also with their offloads. They've both been very, very constructive when they have the ball, and caused an awful lot of problems for Wigan.
And we can see the second half. What a difference, Steve.
Yeah, it is. It's all Wigan the second half. As the first half, well, there wasn't much in the first half at the end of the 40 minutes, but now it's all Wigan. Just getting back to the two big men, especially Derek McVeigh. If you've seen the last offload he had, he gets his body in great position to offload. He's looking at his attack. He's running. His players running onto the football, and it's good controlled rugby league.
He also has the added advantage of his height and the strength to be able to hold players off and make the ball available for the pass.
Well, the boos from the crowd. I think they thought Holgate had a go at McVeigh there. Not so, said the referee. Back to Perolini. Still difficult to put down. Cunningham hanging around the two big men. Just look at the size there. 17 stone, 7 pounds. Imagine tackling that. That was good chasing again by Sean Edwards. Made Tommy Martin rush with that kick. Picked up by Robinson, almost through. Oh, is Chris Joynt holding on there? Farrell to Paul. Good cover tackle there by Tommy Martin. A lot of work needed from these St Helens backs, half-backs, Hammond and Martin, covering across, picking up that space where Goulding should be. Cassidy.
One way in defence that they are covering from Bobby is to condense the defence. They're pushing the outside backs in, leaving a larger gap between the wingman and the touchline in an attempt to crush that space where Bobby is left.
Farrell. Perolini, even Swingamala couldn't put him down. Andy Farrell can. Daniano. Steve, I just get the feeling that this is the tight, tense situation in the game. This is when it could go either way.
It is. The game's still up for grabs here. I mean, as I said before, just because there's one extra player on the Wigan team doesn't automatically mean they're going to win. They've got to work and work hard.
Oh, Cunningham going away well down the blind side, but spotted by Cowie. And the touch. Judge is in again. Spotted something with Russell Smith. Alan Hunt appealing to the touch judge there. It's Neil Cowie who's the transgressor.
We'll have a look here. Cunningham runs in. Cowie grabs him. That's a good tackle. They're going down. Oh, looked like a little uppercut there. It's hard to see from this angle. We'll have a look. Cunningham straight on. I'm sure it's just a little punch that he threw up there. Yeah, there was a left hand into the midsection. I mean, it wasn't worth sending off. There wasn't a sending off offence, but it's not what Wigan want. Wigan don't want to be giving penalties away, especially late in the tackle count. That must have been the fourth, maybe fifth tackle. Next tackle, they get the football back. Instead, they've given St Helens the ball, a chance for them to go 2 points further ahead.
A chance then for St Helens, and this really is a rough, tough cup time. They don't come any harder than this. Kieran Cunningham there, just having a little attention and a drink from Saints physiotherapist Jeanette Smith. And Tommy Martin with a lot of pressure on him. Of course, not the normal goal kicker. Bobby Goulding sitting on the bench. Oh, has Martin swung that round? It's in! It's in off the upright! It looked to be just curling away from that far upright. Whether a breeze up there took it inside, it swung in, hit the upright, and St Helens back with that 4-point lead. It's drama and action here at Knowsley Road. Just look at the flight of that ball. It hovers, it's going out, it's not.
not only that was that 2 points for St Helens, but it was also a psychological blow for them. They had exactly what they wanted from Wigan. They got the penalty, they were able to slow the game down, put 2 points on the scoreboard to go away from Wigan, and also the psychological advantage of scoring.
Wigan eager to break out of this 20-metre area. Simon Horton, former England World Cup player, and there is Pick Evans coming on for O'Neill, who has gone off with that troublesome broken nose. Farrell to Twingamala. Not yet managed to escape the clutches of this cover down this right-hand side. John Edwards. Just really looking to put St Helens back in that 20-metre line, perhaps to keep the Saints down here. A clever player, playing for position.
Wigan considering a pair of fresh legs. Ian Sherratt's been warming up, but where he'd go is difficult to say. Neil Cowie certainly has told the bench that he doesn't want to come up just at the moment. He's prepared to stay on, and maybe a substitution too for St Helens shortly. Vila Matautia is getting out of his tracksuit.
And there we see Vila Matautia, another powerful Western Samoan lad. 4 substitutes, 6 replacements can be made from the 4 subs. Chris Joynt. This Wigan defence though coming up very, very quickly, John.
They're closing the space down, particularly on the outside, on the flanks, and making sure that the 12 men for St Helens are contained.
When you think, Steve, this is the first game of the season, the fitness levels are amazing.
Oh, it is. They're super athletes, these, you know. I mean, now it's full time here, both St Helens, Wigan have been for a long time. But I tell you, they put a lot of work in off the pitch here in the training paddock. Both these teams will be working very hard.
To Wingamala again. Charges in. But again, 4 St Helens defenders watching him very, very carefully. A penalty against Wingamala there. And as you were saying earlier in the first half, Steve.
Well, as I said, he done it the last time he played the football and got away with it. He's done it 2 or 3 times to Wingamala, maybe because he's come back from rugby union. He hasn't been told the rules or hasn't been through them. But you must regain your feet. Now watch, he puts the ball on the ground now. His knees are on the ground, his arms on the ground. That's a penalty against him. That's a penalty against him. You must retain possession when you regain your feet.
Yes, the new rulings that were ratified at the International Board last weekend, possibly causing a few of those penalties there, and certainly a little trouble for Vainga to Wingamala. He's had a lot of problems with his work permit this week. He's been to and from London, so perhaps he might not be too conversant with that ruling. Tommy Martin then. Not this time for Martin.
St Helens might not have gained 2 points from that infringement, but they once again had the opportunity to slow the game down, to take stock of the situation and say, listen lads, we're still in this game, we're winning the game, we've only got 12 men, but let's play our game, let's keep going at them.
And of course they should recover the ball here on the as the ball is dropped out on the 20-metre line following a kick going out on the full. Cunningham, good pass. And the percentage possession there this half, 63% to St Helens. But of course, with 12 men, you need the possession, don't you, Steve?
You do, especially if you've got 12 men, you need the possession. And what they've done, St Helens, they're now keeping the ball away from Wigan. If Wigan haven't got the football, they can't score. It's like the goal. Tommy Martin taking a long-range kick for goal. He made the ball dead, they get it back.
Oh, it was an ambitious pass. Tommy Kieran Cunningham tried his best to snatch the ball from the air, but well, just having words to here we see it. Pellegrini would have been better, I think, to have gone to ground, but Kieran Cunningham just not quite reacting. Wigan then in possession down this side. Oh, Robinson's beat Carl Hammond beautifully. Alan Hunt came back well. Alan Hunt having a good stint in defence here on this right-hand side. And Vila Matautia, Western Samoan forward coming on, can play in the backs. Saints still holding that 4-point lead, 16 points to 12, 20 minutes remaining. This Silk Cut Challenge Cup tie, what a match to launch the centenary of the Challenge Cup. Matautia into Horton there.
They're standing too flat, Wigan. They had the numbers there, but they're standing that flat. The St Helens defence are getting on them straight away.
But here is one man who can defeat any flat defences. Jason Robinson, Sean Edwards. Oh, that's a good kick again. Prescott's there, he's lost it. So has Redlinski. But a knock-on by Chris Redlinski. Well, again, that kick to the right, Joe, troubling St Helens. Prescott a little bit too much in midfield.
Yes, Steve mentioned early on it's a Bobby Golding tactic, but Wigan have used it well this afternoon. They just have failed by the closest of margins to get points from it. It was a well pinpointed, accurate kick. Prescott just managed to get there at the same time as Chris Redlinski and cause the knock-on.
Paul Newlove, not seen a lot of action this afternoon, but a quality player who can suddenly do damage in seconds. As this man can. Kieran Cunningham, wonderful burst away there from the acting half-back. Saints then, in full flow now. McVie can't get the ball away. Good clamping of the ball there by Henry Paul. Carl Hammond wonders what to do, decides he'll hold it. On the sixth tackle. To Martin. Good shot pass to Matautia. Can't get it away. Yes, he does. Oh. Well beat there by Chris Redlinski. I wonder, are we coming up to the stage, Steve, when we think of the odd drop goal?
Sorry, Ray, missed that.
Are we coming up to the stage when we think of the odd drop goal?
Yeah, well, he could have done there. That would have slowed the game down also, the extra point. But the situation is now that Wigan are going to start panicking. They're down to about 18 minutes to go. They're still behind. St Helens have got still two good fresh subs to come on in Morley and Northey. So St Helens could hang on here.
Yet how many times have we seen this Wigan side looking to be almost out of the Challenge Cup, and in those final few minutes they've come back. There's plenty in this game yet. Farrell. A lot of work for Mr. Russell Smith, the referee in this closing quarter. Simon Horton. Well, Graham West not looking too happy. But anything can happen with stars like Paul and Twigamara in your side. Alan Hunt.
Wigan are definitely too flat though on attack. They seem to be on top of each other. I don't know if it's being over-eager or what it is, or bad tactics, but they're definitely too flat on the attacking line.
Good galloping run there from Anthony Sullivan. St Helens getting up ahead of steam here. Cunningham. Oh, nice dummy, still going. Sean McRae, well, what must he be thinking now? Can St Helens do it with 12 men? Tommy Martin offloads to Matautia. Good tackle there by Cassidy. Shoulder tucked right into the hip. Hammond, switch inside to McVie. Faced by Edwards. Shrugs up a couple. Back to Matautia. Good tackling by Wigan. Tremendous defence there from the Central Park lads. Carl Hammond. 5-5 tackle. Is it worth a drop goal? No. Good pass to Prescott. Oh, marvellous tackle by Chris Redlinski there. But the ball is still loose. I thought for a minute then that Prescott was in. The gap was there, it was wide. And suddenly it was shut before the St Helens full-backs. And just look at that tackle from Redlinski there. A try-saving tackle. Wigan keen to get away.
Where St Helens are making all their ground is behind the play-the-ball area. The smaller, quicker players are running at the Wigan big blokes behind the play-the-ball area from dummy half, and they're making so much ground.
Twigamara, oh, what a superb run to Robinson. He's got some space in the middle here. Good tackle. Pickavance did well there to get back. That was dangerous for St Helens. This is the time when players are beginning to tire. To Twigamara, picked up by Via Matautia. Let's remember that many of these players have had a long layoff this winter. A real test of the reserves. Terry O'Connor. Edwards there, very, very cleverly, skillfully, going alongside him, looking for the little slip pass round the man. This is a test of the St Helens defence now. Farrell, he's got support from Paul inside. Couple of tackles remaining, 10 metres from the line, and that's a penalty. Well, I must confess, I thought that penalty could have gone either way. The penalty has gone against Wigan there.
You see, he hasn't regained his feet. That's a definite penalty. Russell Smith is right. The rules state that he must regain his feet. He can't have a hand on the ground and put the ball on the ground. He's got to keep the ball in his possession.
And yet the St Helens player was pulling him in the other direction, Steve. Well, Mr Smith is in charge. Paul Newlove. As the minutes, the seconds tick away. 66 minutes gone. 16-12 to St Helens. Only one of these Challenge Cup giants will go through. Perellini. Chris Morley. Good youngster coming up through the St Helens ranks. Coming on for Derek McVie now then. Will St Helens miss McVie, Steve?
Well, he's done a great job. Fresh legs is what's needed now for St Helens. They need to hold on to this lead. They're attacking good. Even a drop goal will get St Helens home, I think.
On the fifth tackle. To Carl Hammond. Stole a few yards there. Jordan Hunt going through. Oh, Perellini's missed it. It's still St Helens in possession. Back to Prescott. They've got an overlap on this side. A kick. Sullivan's chasing it. Oh, it's into touch. Again, good cover there on that far side. Anthony Sullivan looking for a decision from Russell Smith, but a good kick from Prescott. Sliced it there. Good defence there from Wigan. Number 24, substitute Sean Long, just getting across there. Vital intervention there by the Wigan youngster.
Sean's come on there for Danny Ellison. Sean, normally a half-back in the stand-up position or scrum halves, come on the wing. He is a playmaker and he is also a game breaker, and I'm sure that's why Graham West has looked to bring him on.
And this...
It's very significant now how St Helens are having to husband their resources very, very carefully indeed. Derry McVeigh has come off, just taking a breather. He was on since the start, so they've got to make the maximum use of their substitutes.
Referee Russell Smith are judging a knock-on for Wigan, giving St Helens the advantage at the scrum. Chris Morley driving to the post. 4 tackles in this sequence. Carl Hammond again. Finds Pickavance. But Pickavance well held. This Wigan defence worked hard all afternoon. Cunningham. Hammond. The Wigan defenders coming up very, very quickly. Chris Morley, he saw just a little space there between 2 defenders, but Twiggamala closed it very quickly. Matautia pounding in. That was a run and a half. Big, strong, powerful Pacific Islander. Wonderful tackle there by Redlinski. They'll certainly feel the bumps and bruises in the morning, these lads, Steve.
Oh, it's been a tough game. That play for St Helens there when Matautia running on the last play was as good as any kick. They turn over possession on Wigan's line. Wigan have got to go 100 yards to score a try.
Henry Paul. Let's not forget Wigan in Robinson and Cole. Here he is, have the men who can go 100 yards. Offside against St Helens. There we see St Helens not retiring. So it gives Wigan a chance here. Tremendous number of tackles, 220 tackles, and we've still got 10 minutes remaining. What strength. Wigan then mounting here for a try. Edwards to Paul. Oh, a crunching tackle attempt there from Newland, but he's hurt himself. It's Wigan on the outside, he's lost it. Sean Long couldn't quite hold the ball. He looks in wonderment inside him. The pass was a little high. Johnson floats it wide. and the poor lad just can't quite take it.
Yeah, he's down in back play, Paul Newlove. I think he's hurt his shoulder pretty bad. But if he had caught that ball short and long, he'd have definitely scored, I think.
Well, Andy Johnson did everything right, made the space for his wingman, but then the pass a little bit too high, and Sean Long just couldn't take it.
Taking a break on the Saints bench, Derek McVie. Derek, win or lose, you won't forget this one, will you?
No, it's an interesting way to make you cap the boo, but mate, tell you what, those people we thought were one-year wonders, you know, fucking hell, we're here, aren't we?
Costly penalty again there. Hammond. Oh, good driving run there by Perolini.
If St Helens managed to win this game, they'll have to thank the likes of Perolini. He's been absolutely fantastic. His workload in defence.
Cunningham. Good ball there from Hammond to Chris Morley. Morley, fresh heart, fresh legs. Apollo Perolini, signed from North Harbour Rugby Union Club in Auckland. Saints edging forward to that Wigan line. 8 minutes remaining. 4 points to the Saints' advantage. The cup holders, can they hold out? Again, 16 times Challenge Cup winners Wigan. Here's an attempt at a drop from Tommy Martin. Oh, it's gone between the posts, but it was touched by a Wigan player, and that denies Martin the point. The ball touched in flight by a Wigan player, so no drop goal.
Well, that's not so bad, Dad. I mean, they're going to get the football back again. The 1 point would have made it 5 points and not 6, so Wigan still could have got 6 points and scored. But the important thing, it slows it down a little bit. St Helens have got another 6 plays at Wigan.
And it eats the clock down.
Perolini. Again, another powerful burst, edging to the 20-metre line. Pickavance, St Helens, I think now, saying what we have, we hold. It can't get Pickavance down, 8 metres from the Wigan line. Desperate last-ditch defence here from Wigan. A try for St Helens would surely seal this game. Back to Perolini again. Tremendous reserves of stamina from this Pacific Islander. Powerful number 8. Cunningham, short pass to Martin. Martin's got it to Newlove. Oh, and it's a try! Paul Newlove. I said he'd done very little in the game so far, but there he is. £500,000 worth of player. He pops up at the right moment, and relief and joy on his face. He knows the importance of this try, but what a combination. Martin looks to his left, finds Newlove, he's in.
Newlove's the kind of player easily associated with long-range, powerful tries. This one he'll have to thank Tommy Martin for. Spins round, realises he can't get to the line himself, and pops a beautiful, sweet inside pass. Newlove on his shoulder crosses for the try that I think will win the game.
Yeah, it'll certainly win the game. Tommy Martin, great skills here, gets his body in good position again. And Newlove, he mightn't have done a lot in the game, but doing that certainly sealed the game for him, I'm sure, for St Helens. And that's the type of player he is.
Right at the beginning of this competition, right at the beginning of this game, I should say, we said it would come out to the last 10 minutes before we could decide who's going to win it. It's been close all the way through, and even with 12 men, St Helens now look like they're going to snatch this.
Vital kick here from Tommy Martin. St Helens army of fans on the march and the Wembley trail again as Martin, left-footed, comes in, but he misses it. Well, is there still hope yet? Is there still life in this Wigan side? That try from Newlove, his 40th in 33 games for the club, may have done the trick, but I think that Martin goal would have sealed it. Another look at the try. Good play by Cunningham. Superb offloading. Twists in the tackle from Martin, still looking for support, and it's there. Paul Newlove. .20 points to 12 for St Helens. Less than 5 minutes remaining. but 5 minutes, enough time to win any cup tie.
There's plenty of time. I think we should see Wigan starting to throw the ball around now. They've got to try things. They can't just go up the middle. They've got to start throwing the ball around and try to do a few exciting things to score points.
And St Helens definitely know that Wigan are a team that can do exactly that.
Graham West must be wondering what more can he do. Eric Hughes on his left-hand side, the former St Helens coach, now an assistant at Wigan, barking orders into the intercom. McRae, he'll be counting the seconds down for St Helens. But a lot of time remaining. Oh, Hunt's intercepted! Alan Hunt's going away for a try! Do not catch Alan Hunt! He's in there under the post! Oh, and that's finally sealed it! Alan Hunt for St Helens, delirious with joy, and I think that couple in the crowd know that they're in the hat and the draw on Monday night. It was the type of pass, the gamble that Wigan had to take out wide. Hunt was lurking out there. The pass was well intended. He could have launched an attack, but not so, Steve.
You see it again. We've commented before about Wigan standing too flat in attack. They've done it again. They paid the price. Interception by Alan Hunt, and isn't he delighted? The St Helens supporters have gone mad here today. And I can tell you, Ray, we spoke before the game. I thought the home advantage was a big thing. This crowd has got right behind this St Helens mob before the kick-off, and it's just been electric, the atmosphere here today.
I'll tell you what, though, I don't like Alan Hunt pointing like that. I've seen players lose the ball as they've been going over, Joe.
So have I. I've done it myself, actually, Ray.
I didn't intend that, Joe.
We mentioned earlier that, Steve mentioned that Wigan would have to throw the ball around now to try and open some gaps up and try and get some of the points on the board. And it was that adventure that cost them the try there. A long pass from Henry Paul, just not quite high enough to reach over the top of the fingertips of the outstretched arm of Alan Hunt. He managed to collect it, and as soon as he gathered it into his arms, you knew the try was on.
The conversion taking St Helens out now to 26 points to 12. And there is Alan Hunt. He's signalling the try. Ecstasy on his face. It's down. 4 points. What about that? He says to the crowd. Oh, and a bad mistake. A bad mistake by Henry Paul there. He didn't cover the ball. He allowed it to roll dead, and that's a dropout with certain possession to St Helens. 2 minutes remaining. 26 points for St Helens. Saints will surely hold this ball. They'll go through the 6 tackle sequence. Apollo Perolini, man of the match. No grumbles about that. And I would say Derry McVie, a close second.
All their big men. Chris Joint, superb game. All their big men at St Helens have done their fair share today.
And all credit to Wigan, though, for making this a tremendous cup tie. This is what this Silk Cut Challenge Cup over the 100 years has produced. Action, passion, tries. Perolini. He's got Mataucha with him. Good tackle by Simon Horton, coming across well. Oh, an attempted drop by Carl Hammond. But he knows it wastes a little time. The cup holders then, St Helens, maintaining their grip on this Silk Cut Challenge Cup trophy. In the last 9 cup clashes, they've been forced to bow the knee to their great rivals. Not today. Their first Challenge Cup success over Wigan since that 9-4 win back in 1977. And what a match to launch the centenary of the Challenge Cup. Both teams contribute so much.
Teams that are still in a competition in this Silk Cut Challenge Cup know exactly what kind of intensity is needed now to try and beat St Helens and stop them retaining the Challenge Cup.
I just can't believe, Steve, that this is the first match of the season and we're seeing fitness and strength levels so high.
It's been enormous. This could have been the final of this game, but it's not. one team has to go. Today it's Wigan, but St Helens are there, and they're favourites and entitled to be at this stage. The 80 minutes is up on the clock, but if the hooter goes now, Joe, I don't know whether the referee would hear it.
No, the atmosphere has been fantastic all afternoon. We could hardly hear ourselves sing, let alone commentate.
Yes, leading with the elbow, Carl Hammond there into the tackle by Radlinski, and Radlinski gets up and certainly rubs his chest. Farrell, good high, long ball there, out to long, back inside to Johnson. Oh, so near. There's the hooter, it's all over. Anthony Sullivan and Chris Joynt jump up in the air. Tremendous inspirational play from that St Helens skipper in the second half. We did it, say Carl Hammond and Tommy Martin. But all credit to this man, Apollo Perolini. He was the man of the match. The power and pace of the big prop forward. Swigamala being consoled by Kieran Cunningham. Andy Nordy just got a taste of the action in the closing minutes. But it's the cup holders St Helens who go into that draw for the 5th round on Monday at 6:55 p.m. The flags are waving here at Nosey Road. Mick Cassidy troops off. And Alan Hunt, well, that interception try at the end just about did it for St Helens.
Well, Paul Newlove, for a performance with 12 men, that's got to be about the best in the 100 years of the Challenge Cup, hasn't it?
That's unbelievable. I mean, you wouldn't reckon it, would you? At half time, we had his back to the wall. We knew what we had to do, and we came down and do it.
But to score 2 tries late in the game to seal it, marvellous performance.
That's right. When we knew the game went away from them, Wigan got a bit niggly, and they couldn't do out about it. And honestly, it's a delight to win.
Chris Joynt, I mean, at half-time, Bobby Goulding off. What was said then?
Well, we knew we had nothing to lose. We had the next 40 minutes ahead of us. You know, it wasn't going to give in. You know, the last 40 minutes we thought, let's have a go, boys.
The character in the side, though, was terrific, wasn't it?
Well, as you've just seen, there's a fair bit of character in this side.
And you can go all the way now, I suppose. That's what you're thinking.
Well, you know, we want to take one game as it comes. We're in the bag for the next draw, and that's all that we want.
Thanks very much. Well done. Congratulations.
Sean McRae there just congratulating his players. This centenary has really started. The Challenge Cup has passion, power, pace, and at times we've seen the fury. We've had everything this afternoon. I certainly can't wait for the next round, and I'm sure those players can't. Many classy tries, none better than this one. Alan Hunt pointing the way to the posts. The try that sealed it for St Helens. It's there. So the crowd making their way home here from this Nosey Road ground. The little ones sitting on the wall. What a wonderful afternoon they've had. The heroes have run in the tries. Perolini, Hammond, Newlove and Hunt were the heroes.
Try scorer Carl Hammond. Carl, I doubt if you've been involved in a game like that, have you?
No, you know, that's why I come to a club like St Helens, and the atmosphere, you know, I'd just like to thank all the Speckies. You know, there was a great help today.
Did you seriously think at half-time it was on?
Well, you know, when Bobby got sent off, we was obviously all down, and we was fired up from what had gone on after it, and we sat in the dressing rooms. We said the easiest thing that we could do now was say, oh, well, you know, we played with 12 men, Bobby got sent off. So we had a chat and thought, why not go for it? We had the wind at our backs, and we was doing well with our sets of 6, so, you know, it come off.
And being Wigan, I imagine that was incentive enough, was it?
Oh, well, you know, it doesn't come any higher than the Saints and Wigan match, and I'm just proud to be playing it. I'd just like to say it was that was for our Jamie.
Quiet night now, Carl.
I'll have a few.
It's an absolutely enthralling cup tie, classic cup tie at Nosey Road this afternoon, but at St Helens, the holders, they go through to the 5th round of the Silk Cut Challenge Cup with that 26-12 win. Marvellous entertainment, more reaction coming up for you later. Let me give you a football headline on a day when, of course, there's no Premiership matches, but in the First Division, Bolton's long run of success is in some danger. They're currently 3-2 down to Reading at Elm Park, a Trevor Morley hat-trick. It's currently Reading 3, Bolton Wanderers 2. More football coming up in final score, but let's turn our attention from Rugby League to the big match in Rugby Union. And today, of course, that was the Pilkington Cup match, the 6th round tie down at the Recreation Ground. Bath and Leicester meeting for the 7th time in 12 seasons. And as you can see, Leicester have come out on top. Final score, Bath 28, Leicester 39. In fact, Leicester winning by 5 tries to 3. Here are those 5 Tigers tries.
In from the wing, not for long, but it's recycled again. Greenwood to Potter. Still Potter, he slipped 2 tackles. Still Potter, can he make it all the way? He's got support with Greenwood. It's a try, superbly done by Potter, rounded off by Greenwood. Well, what slack Bath defence that was. That's Rowntree. Rowntree ready to go himself, is he? He's going to slip it to Healy. They roll together. Matt Poole comes in again. Eventually shunted out by Healy. Greenwood should be. Potter, is it? Yes! Leicester back again. Back. Oh, it's cleverly placed. Sarders in the way. Back recovers it. Gets the try. Brilliant individual effort. Johnson, and the try is given. Well, a real breakaway. Greenwood comes through. Liney keeps it alive. Healy now, long feed. Greenwood takes a good angle, sets it out to Hackney. This could be the end for Bath. Drop goal. Stransky, perfect. Stransky rounds it off for Leicester.
Yes, a famous victory for Leicester, who now go through to meet Newcastle in the next round, and we'll have all the rugby results for you a little bit later on. But let's turn our attention back to football and a look at the very printer as the results go through. Picking up Division 3, what a day for Chester, beating Doncaster by 6-0. Final score there, Chester 6, Doncaster 0. Let me see if I can give you some scorers there. Andy Milner got 4 of them, Julian Ashford and Jonathan Jones with a penalty. Moving further down, Scottish Premier, Dunfermline 0, Rangers 3. Good day for the leaders in the Scottish Premier, Gordon Jury, George Alberts and Brian Laudrup, the scorers there. In Division 1, Barnsley 1, Port Vale 0. Barnsley 3rd this morning. Let's get the report on that one from Gerald Sinstadt.
Barnsley distributed 2,500 free tickets to local school children and will surely have gained more than they gave. The youngsters saw only 1 goal, scored by John Hendry after 25 minutes, but it came in a game that was never boring and frequently enlivened by football that pleased the eye. The result won't be disputed. Port Vale played with their customary care and style, but once the threat from Steve Guppy had been contained, Barnsley were good value for the points that keep them in pursuit of the Premiership millions. In the second half, Paul Musselwhite made a series of good saves, while in the other net, David Watson was impressively protected by Adrian Moses and Aryan Dezeu until a clever late header by Tony Naylor needed a diving catch, but an equaliser would have been unjust.
And you saw that result going through in the Scottish Premier. Dunfermline 0, Rangers 3. Rangers will stretch their lead at the top of the table. Let's get a report on that match at East End Park from David Begg.
In the end, a very comfortable win for Rangers. They struggled to cope with a swirling wind in the opening half hour, but after Gordon Jury fired them ahead in 35 minutes, the end of the nerves. 2 wonderful goals in the second half, a pile driver from 28 yards by George Alberts, and then man of the match, Brian Laudrup, swept from the midfield, just ran past the Dunfermline defence and finished in style for his 14th goal of the season. Rangers back 7 points in front of Celtic.
Thanks, David. Second Division, Gillingham 1, Bristol Rovers 0, and in the Scottish Second, Dumbarton 2, Livingston 3. In the Scottish First, Partick 0, St Mirren 0. First Division, Oldham 0, Grimsby 3. That's the bottom 2, of course, meeting at Boundary Park today. Grimsby picking up 3 much-needed points. Goals from John Oster and Neil Woods. third one late on as well, so Oldham sinking deeper into trouble. In the third division, Wigan have beaten Carlisle. That's a big match indeed. That's second and third in the table this morning, of course. Wigan winning there with a David Lowe goal after 24 minutes. Wigan now with 6 wins in their last 7 matches. Huddersfield 0, Wolves 2 in the first division. 3 very good away points for Wolves, whose form away from Molineux has been very good this season. It's pretty good at home recently as well. Steve Froggatt and Steve Bull, the scorers there for Mark McGee's side. St Johnstone 2, Airdrie 2, late equaliser for St Johnstone there in the Scottish First Division. They're top of the table by 15 points. Long unbeaten run, St Johnstone, and it stays intact but only just. Third Division, Torquay 0, Leyton Orient 0. UFA Trophy results going through as well, of course. Welling 1, Guiseley 1. In the third division, Brighton, bottom of the table, getting a much-needed boost with that 5-0 win over Hartlepool. Scorers there, Ian Baird, Gary Hobson, and a hat-trick by Craig Maskell. Scottish third division, leaders Inverness Cally Thistle, beating East Stirlingshire by 3 goals to 2. In the second division, Brentford 1, Watford 1. And in the third, Exeter 0, Rochdale 0. Brentford, of course, top of the second division. 3 more points for them today. The goals are coming from Carl Asaba. The only goal of the match there after 2 minutes. Second division also, Bury 2, Bournemouth 1. Bizarre incident there, in fact, when a Bournemouth fan ran on and attacked the referee and was led off the pitch, but Bury, in fact, going on to take the points. Bury 2, Bournemouth 1. A Mark Carter penalty, which apparently caused the fan to run onto the pitch in protest. Robert Matthews got Bury's second. Steve Robinson had scored for Bournemouth also from the penalty spot. Division 3, Cambridge United 1, Hull 0. Scorer there, Paul Rayner, just before half-time. Also in Division 2, good day at Bloomfield Road for the home side. Blackpool beating Peterborough by 5 goals to 1, including a Tony Ellis hat-trick there. Andy Priest and Marvin Bryan were the other scorers for Blackpool. Shrewsbury 2, Notts County 1 also in the second division. Dean Spink and Ian Stevens for Shrewsbury. Notts County still looking for their first league win since the end of November. Chesterfield 0, Wrexham 0 in the second division, and Rotherham 0, Preston North End 1. David Reeves scoring there for Preston against the bottom club. Division 3, Cardiff 1, Colchester 2, and back in Division 2 again, Burnley 1, York City 2. And that's a welcome win for York. They've only taken 1 point from their last 6 games. Burnley, of course, were 5th this morning, but York